The head essence of the great perfection. How to meditate on wisdom and compassion in action. Hello and good welcome to my introduction and free mini course about how to meditate on wisdom and compassion in action. So my name is Cosete Gomez. I have been studying for the last 30 years in the Buddhist philosophy, psychology and cosmology. And before that, I have spent many years in the West also meditating in different groups and schools, cosmology, astrology, Krishnamurti thought, also Zen, Zazen, Koan, and all was about to find the answers to the main questions, the universal questions. These 5 questions want all we have, but in the West we really is our quest, I will say, are like what is the purpose of life, what is the meaning of life, who am I, where I come from, and where I'm going. And then to answer those 5 questions, I was continue to looking for until 30 years ago, His Holiness Dalai Lama came to where I was living at that time in the Balearic Islands, and he came to close a exposition of the Tibetan paintings and the Sun Mandala, the Kala Chakra, and he came there. And anyway, when the ritual finished, he puts the Sun Mandala on a pot and threw on the water, just blessing the place. And I am laughing because the mayor from there, he was very upset. He said, how can you do that? To throw an art of work of 15 days of work of 2 months, just like this. And he says, that is the teachings of the Buddha. Everything is impermanent. Everything that has been created, it will be dissolved in some time. So just to keep alive that tradition. But anyway, we'll do one for you, then it will be permanent in your office. And they did. Anyway, so one of the things that catch my attention on that exposition, it was a tanka of Padmasambhava with a description below with a prophecy saying that it will be a time that the teachings of the great perfection, it will come to the West, and we'll see the sun, it will be the saint, it will be, and it will be surrounded by women. So that catch my attention, and then I was starting to get interested in this story of the prophecy and the teachings of the great perfection. So much that I went to India, to the Himalaya region of India, Pakistan, and Nepal, and I did research about his life, his history, and then this brought me to his actual place in Pakistan. And I did a research there, and well, there was nothing really clear because it was 1,000 years then since he was born there and teaching there to the time where the Tibetans, they remain isolated, in Tibet for 1,000 years. So the main thing is that he was the founder of the Tibetan Buddhism. He brought the Buddhism to Tibet before it was destroyed by the invaders. Those who come after, take over India, the story of the Muslims and the Mongols and all the stories. Anyway, so I went there, I found a place, I take pictures and I write a document, and then on the year 2000, when His Holiness Dalai Lama came to India, the Spiti, to give the Kala Chakra initiation, I went to meet him, and I presented my document and the pictures of my research, and then he was surprised and he commented, well, I heard about the place, but I never saw any evidence of pictures and documents. That's great. So come to see my secretary on the Ramsala, Geshe Laptor, and then present to him, and then I will check out. Okay, live there. So then I went there after, and I went to see on his office Lama Geshe Laptor, and I showed the pictures and the document, and he said, wow, this is too big for His Holiness Dalai Lama. He has no time for this. It's better you prepare a guidebook, and then with all the pictures and everything, and then we will present to him. But anyway, Fair enough. So then I come back to where I was living at that time, Sopema and Himachal Pradesh, the Himalayas in India. And then I was preparing to go back to Pakistan, but some prophecies were around there. And then it came some, the Taliban took over the Pakistan, Afghanistan, so there was not possible to go there, anyway, this is 20 years ago, no? And still I did a document, I did a book, I have everything, but there is no time for the Tibetans to go there, so I cannot publish and give to them because there is trouble, no? Anyways, it's there. So, but the thing is that the time of the prophecy of the great perfection is true, is there. I can see it, and the people every time is more interested in the teachings of the great perfection, and especially the women are very receptive of it, and there are many women around the centers where the teachings of the great perfection they are teaching on, And what I want to say with this now, referring to how to meditate on wisdom and compassion in action, on relating to the heart essence of the great perfection, is that our 5 questions they were answered by the Buddha on the 5 paths. Connecting with, for example, the purpose of life with the path of preparation, of accumulation, the meaning of life with the path of preparation, the who I am with the path of see, where I come from with the path of meditation, and where I did come from anyway with the path of normal learning. So in order to get this meditation on compassion, or means this wisdom and compassion in action, we need to understand the Perfection Wisdom Sutra, because here is where is the heart sutra, is the heart teachings of all the Buddhists, which is, by the way, is the symbolic aspect of the transmission of the Buddha Sakyamuni that he did from heart to heart, literally on the canon, on the Pali canon, or the situation where a yogi called Bahia came to him in asking for the heart essence of the Buddhist teachings, and he gave the heart essence teachings to him, and he got realized in front of him, and he did record this story. It's there on the Pali canon. Anyway, and then after symbolically come on the Perfection Wisdom Sutra. And anyway, so to do the wisdom and meditation in action, we need to understand the wisdom, the Perfection Wisdom Sutra. And the heart essence of the Perfection Wisdom Sutra said, form is emptiness and emptiness is form. There are 2 parts, 2 formulas here. One is form is emptiness, and this emptiness is empty of attributes. So it's like a space. It's any substantial essence, any form, any matter, is empty of itself. It has no attribute at all. That is the first part. And the second part, emptiness is form, is emptiness with attributes, the attributes of the Buddha mind. And that mind is wisdom mind, and that is the true awakened mind, and that is the mind which unifies wisdom and compassion. That is the true wisdom mind, unify wisdom and compassion on action. What I mean by this, if we don't realize this, then we realize only half of it, then still we need to go through the perfections of patience, generosity, and then ethics and spiritual enthusiasm, concentration, meditation, and wisdom. But if we realize both of them, then we are on the path of the great perfection. Straight, we break through to the path of the great perfection, wisdom and meditation in action. So that is how we get there. How on the path of meditation we get wisdom and compassion in action by breaking the 2 formulas of the Perfection Wisdom Sutra. Anyway, for those who are interested in this, but they feel that still they need to work, so they need to work on the path, on the 5 paths of the Buddha, then they need to go back to the path of accumulation and unify for the Western and Easterns. You need to find the purpose of life first. What is the purpose of life? Then His Holiness Dalai Lama says very clear that all purpose of life is to be happy. And that means that we need to do all what it takes to be satisfied, and this is by the positive energy of equanimity, joy, love, and compassion. We need to cultivate compassion at that time. And then we need to go on the path of preparation. Then it will answer the question of what is the true meaning of life. And then we need to go to the path of C. Then we realize the Perfection Wisdom Sutra. And then we need to the meditation path and growing up, whether we go breakthrough straight or whether we go gradual, all the 10 bhumis, the 10 states. And then to dissolve into the path of no more learning, which is the heart essence of the great perfection. So anyway, if you are interested in this kind of spontaneous teachings, and you would like to hear more about that, feel free to send anyway, just write down below to your email, and I will send to you the next video about what is the true meaning of life on the path of preparation. See you there. I hope to see you soon, my friend, and see you again.